Well, we made it to another weekend. Yay, it's Friday. So we don't have a lot of products to open tonight, mainly because one of them takes a while, right? Heritage High Number, that one is not fast. But we are going to open a half case of Topps Heritage High Number Baseball, and before that, we're going to open a full case of Leaf History of Baseball Cut Signature. And that one's been a lot of fun. We've pulled some really cool stuff out of it. Looking forward to seeing what we can find in there tonight. Before we get started, though, there is a little information to go over, so we're going to start out with that. First off, this is just a continuation, the break that I'm working on selling directly by way of chat and messages. This one is not listed on eBay, and it's for a case of Opulence Basketball. That's the one that came out today, the high-end release that hit the market just today. We're going to sell that one as a hits draft, meaning that every position, every bidding position that I sell is guaranteed to get something. The case has 21 hits in it, autographs and or relics or some combination thereof. And then our 22nd draft position spot will be comprised of all the base cards and or base parallel cards, i.e. numbered base cards. So that gives us 22 bidding positions in the break. If you've never done a hits draft before, it works kind of like this. We open up the case. We take a look at everything that's in there. We'll lay out our 21 hits and, of course, option number 22, again, all those base cards. I then use random.org to randomize our participants, one per spot. And then we just go in order. So if you ended up in draft position 1 after we did random, you would have your choice of every single card that we pulled. You could take the one you liked the best. If you happen to end up in draft position 10, of course, 9 cards would be gone, but you would have your choice of the cards that were remaining and that sort of thing. So that's how it works. It's $135 per draft spot. That includes shipping costs. Everybody obviously is guaranteed to get something in the break, and we'll break it as soon as we fill it. And it just came out today. We just opened this up a couple of days ago. I really probably should have opened it a little sooner than I did. Anyway, we've got to get to 22 to break it. We're at 9 right now. So if you would like one of those spots, please do send me a message or hit me up in chat. All right. Hi, Greg. Greg's here. Happy Friday, Greg. And of course, now we're moving into our regularly scheduled info for the break. So feedback, I've got it set up to be automated. That's just simply so you don't ever have to wait on me to sit down and find time to do it. As soon as you leave positive feedback for me, you're going to instantly get it in return. And then the other thing, of course, is just to say thanks, because I do appreciate you stopping by, spending part of your Friday evening with me, or whenever you're watching it. You might be watching it on tape delay. And of course, I always appreciate everyone who bids and breaks and chats with me as well. Taking a look right now at upcoming breaks that are listed on eBay. So the hits draft for Opulence, that one not listed on eBay, being sold directly. These are listed on eBay. Tomorrow night we'll break a case of Clearly Authentic Baseball and a case of XR Football. Our first case of XR Football was crazy good with 6 one-of-one hits in it. Like, what? Yeah, crazy. Including a one-of-one Baker Mayfield, I might add. Sunday night, we're going to open a half case of Leaf Autograph mini football helmets. Those actually came out today. They arrived today, but I didn't list them to break until Sunday night. So we'll get into that Sunday night along with a half case of Leaf Autograph football jerseys. Both of those things will be the start of a new case. We will also open a case of Bowman High Tech on Sunday night. On Monday night, I'm going to take the night off to watch a little Monday Night Football. Yes, I am. And also, I'm sure I'll be doing some sorting and shipping while watching Monday Night Football, kind of get us back on track with that as well. On Tuesday night, we'll open an autographed multi-sport ticket, the spot sold by first letter of the last name. We're going to open a half case of Gold Rush Series 2 autographed baseball jerseys, another half case of the mini football helmets, and a third case of XR Football. Wednesday night, we'll open a full case of TriStar Game Day Greats autographed football jerseys. That has 5 jerseys in it. And National Treasures Baseball comes out Wednesday. We'll open a case of that. And Bowman Chrome. Woohoo! Woohoo! Bowman Chrome comes out Wednesday. We're going to open a full case of it as well. Originally, we were supposed to have Flawless Collegiate come out Wednesday too, but it got moved to October the 3rd. So we won't be opening that on Tuesday night after all. Okay, we don't have any free shipping breaks tonight, so we don't have to worry about that part. Both of our breaks tonight are paid shipping breaks. That is the Leaf History of Baseball Cut Signature case break, and then the half case of Topps Heritage High Number. Both of those I'm projecting to ship out on Wednesday. I know that's a little later than normal, and I hope that I'm going to be able to get it out to you sooner than that, especially taking Monday night off from breaking. So I hope I can get it sooner, but kind of plan on Wednesday and hope for faster. We'll say it like that. If you happen to get skunked in Leaf History of Baseball, your consolation card will go out with the rest of the break. And that's the way it works, guys. If you're not pulled in there, if you don't pull anything at all in the Leaf History of Baseball, you are entitled to a consolation card for your team. It can be from, or in this case, can just be a random kind of thing since this isn't really done by teams. But anyway, it can be from any year and any series. And once again, it would ship out with the rest of the break since it's paid shipping break. And in Heritage High Number, good grief, there's loads cards in there. So nobody's gonna go without cards in Heritage High Number. So first up tonight is a 14-box case of 2018 Leaf History of Baseball Cut Signature full case break. This is break number 3, and of course the spots were sold by the first letter of the last name. So Babe Ruth would go to the R, Mickey Mantle to the M, so on and so forth. And of course everything we're opening tonight ended tonight, Friday night, the 21st of September. And we'll just scroll down through here, give you a chance to see your name there across from, in this case, the letter that you purchased in the break. And of course, we'll put a new spreadsheet up before we do Topps Heritage High Number. So if you're here for that, you'll get a chance to see your name up there momentarily. Last but not least, I am taking the camera off of autofocus. You notice the focus changed there a little bit. That is because I like to set it manually. And I do set it so that the background goes out of focus a little bit. And that's because I like to be able to see the cards up really closely. And in order to accomplish that, it takes the background out of focus a tiny bit. Corey's here. Hi, Corey. You got released. All right. Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. I saw your message that you fractured your vertebrae, man. That is terrible. That happened to my neighbor recently. I cannot get these boxes out of here. They're jammed in there very tightly. Yeah, my neighbor missed a couple of steps and took a tumble and fractured 2 vertebrae a few months ago. Some of you might remember that because I was taking care of her animals for a while, and I think I talked about that running back and forth and what all was going on with that at one point. But she was, she's an older lady though, but she was out of commission for a bit. They had her in a back brace for a while, a good long while, and of course lots of physical therapy and stuff, but they didn't have to do surgery. So she got out of it in the best case scenario. But Corey, it sounds like you saying there that you might have to have a little bit of surgery. So I am sorry to hear that, my friend. But I'm glad, as bad as it is and nobody wants to have that happen, I'm glad it wasn't worse, because it sounded like from your message that there was really the potential there for it to be much, much worse. I mean, it's bad. Don't get me wrong. I understand that, but it sounds like it could have been a whole heck of a lot worse. So I'm grateful that at least you're still with us, right? I mean, that's the most important part of those sorts of things. Parker is here. Hi, Parker. You didn't win anything tonight, but you're just hanging out with us. All right, I like that plan. I like it when you guys come and gals, if there happen to be any gals with us tonight. I like it when you come and hang out, chat, and find out what's what and that sort of thing. We're going to get all of these opened up before we actually start looking at what's in each box. So this takes the longest part of anything. We have to get the plastic off, cut all the little seals, and, it's a lot of work to see one card, isn't it? But that's okay, because what we've been pulling out of here has been worth it for the most part. Pulled a nice, pulled Ted Williams. out of the first case. We pulled a Joe DiMaggio out of the second case. Lots of other fun stuff along the way. Ernie Banks and all kinds of others that I'm not remembering right at this moment. Parker, the mini helmets are a blast. Of course, had been breaking some half cases of the Gold Rush, and now we're going to move into the Leaf mini helmets because they just came out. And if you follow the Leafs memorabilia stuff, especially, you know they usually have really solid hits in their mini helmets, their full-size helmets, their jerseys. All that Leaf memorabilia is usually really nice checklists. Of course, they never release the full checklist, so we never know exactly everybody that's in it. But we do know that it's good because we see it come out. And I actually ordered a bunch of Leaf mini helmets because I've broken those by the half case plenty of times, and they're pretty awesome always. So I'm looking forward to getting into those myself. Corey, they have you on some high-dose pain meds. I bet they do, man. I bet they do. My neighbor was definitely out of it for a bit with what they had her on as well. So at least they've let you out for the time being, which, again, is better news than if they had just stuck in the hospital. I always hate being stuck in the hospital. They always, you never get good sleep in there because they're always in there poking and prodding and taking temperatures and blood pressures. And it's like, hey, man, I'm in here because, like, something's wrong. Leave me alone and let me sleep. But they never do. So we all know how that goes. Okay, first out here. Who is this? Who do we have here? Oh, we have Leo again. We pull Leo a lot. And Durasure? Yeah, that's not right. Okay, we're just going to go with the D because that's where it goes anyway. It goes to bidding position D. I think we've pulled him out of every... No, maybe it was another D guy that we pulled out of every case. So maybe we haven't pulled him out of every case, but we've pulled him before anyway. Second out is Billy Williams for the W's. Aruna's here. Hi, Aruna. You are hoping for some good luck tonight. Tell us who you have again, Aruna, so that we can, give you some mojo. Big Blue Breaks. You might have missed the rundown earlier, but it sure is coming up next. Heritage High number right after we finish this up. This is Hoyt Wilhelm for the W's once again. Oh, yeah, the insurance thing for sure, that can make... But honestly, Corey, even when you do have insurance, they want you out immediately. I mean, it is insanity. The insurance never wants to pay for anybody to stay anymore. When you have major surgery, they kick you out the next day often, even. It's insane. This is Monty Irvin for the eyes. And look at that. I just ripped off a big chunk of my fingernail. That's going to be bad. That's way down low. We'll have to work on that later, but that's gonna be down in the part that hurts when I have to rip that off in a little while. Daggone it. Caught that on the edge of a box. Andre Dawson and Billy Herman. So this one, unless the same person happens to own the D and the H bidding position, that one will end up going to random. So we'll take a look at that. Aruna, you have C and W. All right, let's see what we can make happen for C and W. Well, we've already gotten you some W, so now we just have to work on C, I guess. And look at that. There is one. That is Stanley Kovaleski. So your night is complete with both a C and a W, Aruna. Got a little good mojo going. And here we have Luke Appling. I recognized that one. On the back of this is Ed Roush. So another one that will be going to random unless the same person owns both of our letters. Oh, is this Tommy? Tommy LaRussa, is it? Yeah, it is. Tony La Russa. Why did I say Tommy? Because I'm thinking Tommy Lasorda. Tony La Russa for the L bidding position. Wouldn't you guys just fall over if we pulled Mickey Mantle or Babe Ruth tonight? Wouldn't that be awesome? Oh, Bob Gibson. I like that one. That is for the G bidding position. Oh, here's a nice one. Ichiro for the S bidding position. Because his full name's on there, obviously. So Ichiro Suzuki. Had it been on there as just Ichiro up at the top, it would have gone to I, but it's on there as Ichiro Suzuki, signed his full name, so it goes to the S. Brooks Robinson, that's a nice one for the bidding position of R. I bet you that nail's off there by the time we're done with the night, because there went another big chunk of it. I'm going to scream when it comes out here too, probably, because it's way down in the quick. You could, oh yeah, that's going to hurt. Joe Morgan for the M. Like, I just barely got the bruise that had been on that other nail for what, 6 months? 8 months? Like a long time. It finally grows out, and now I bust off this one. Another Brooks Robinson. Oh, but you have somebody on the back. Robin Roberts is on the back, but you know what? Doesn't matter. They both have R for the first letter of their last name, so that just goes straight up R, front and back. And last one out is Doug Harvey for the H bidding position. So let's go check these out. We are looking for the A and the R on this one, and we'll be taking a look at D and H on this one. So if these go to random, just to let you know how it will work, it will be on the front first, so I would type in A first, and the R, of course, is on the back. The R would be typed in second. In this case, the D would go in first, the H would go in second. I would hit random 3 different times, and the first 2 won't count. It would only be that third and final random that would make the decision about where that card goes. But before we get to that, let's find out if we even need to do that. Somebody might own them both, so let's find that out first. So the A's, that is Montana, and the R's, that is Island Collectibles, so we know that one's going to go. The D's are 2 right, and the H's for the Billy Herman, Crazy Legs. All right, so in fact, both of our cards are going to end up being determined by random.org. So let's get ourselves over here and get this taken care of. So first up, we'll do the Appling Roush. So it's going to be A and then R. And remember, it is only the third one that counts, so you can skip the first. You can ignore the second. Here comes our third and final. There's our 3 times. Date and timestamp goes to the A bidding position. So that is this dual signature here heading off to the Luke Appling bid position. And bear with me. I'm going to put these 2 in bags so that I can mark on them. That way I don't have to rely on my poor old memory, and I also don't have to go back and watch the break again, right? So it'll just make it faster for us a little bit. This one is going next with Andre Dawson and Billy Herman, so it's going to be typed in D and then H. And we're going to basically rinse and repeat what we just did with those 2 new letters, D and H. Let's get you moved, and I'm going to come along behind you to that page. At least I think I am. Eventually I'm going to get us there. Okay, here we go. Ignore the first one. Ignore the second one. Here comes our third and final. There's 3 times date and timestamp going to bidding position D. So the Andre Dawson bidding position got this one. And let's recap Leaf History of Baseball. This is my last case of this too, so no more of this hanging around. And I don't really think I'll be getting any more because it was kind of in short supply. I had a hard time even rounding up these last 2 cases. So this went to the A's, the Luke Appling, this dual signature to the D's, Andre Dawson. This is headed to the H with Doug Harvey. Here's a nice Brooks Robinson with Robin Roberts on the other side, but since they're both R's, we don't have to worry about using random for it. Joe Morgan, I love me some Joe Morgan. That is for the M's. Brooks Robinson again by himself on that one, R's with another hit. Ichiro Suzuki, nice hit if you have the S in this break tonight. And then for the G's, Bob Gibson. I'm a fan of that one too. Tony La Russa for the L. And then we have Stanley Kovaleski for the C's, Kovaleski. Monte Irvin for the I's. You guys didn't think there'd be an I in there, did you? Haha, yeah, see? Hoyt Wilhelm for the W's. Billy Williams, W's. And then Leo Dersher for the D's. I know I said it wrong. We all know I'm going to say it wrong. It's just a matter of how wrong am I going to get it. That's usually the only variable when it comes to pronouncing the names. Okay, so, oh, Greg, you weren't in that one? Oh, man, you would have been happy with all those Brooks Robinsons. I know how you like the Orioles, so that would have been a good one for you. We are going to go back to the spreadsheet here, and we'll review everything for a second, take a look at the Heritage High Number list, and be ready to start in that break. So if you joined us late, you didn't see this earlier, we didn't have no free shipping breaks tonight. Our paid shipping break, that is both breaks tonight. So what we just opened and what is coming up for Heritage High Number. Projecting to get out the door on Wednesday. I would like to get it out sooner. I'm going to try very hard to get it out sooner, but plan on Wednesday and be pleasantly surprised if I can get it out the door faster. And of course, if you were just in Leaf History of Baseball and you got skunked, any consolation cards that you are due will ship with the rest of the break since it's a paid shipping break. Heritage High Number, you guys don't have to worry about that. Tons of cards in this break. So 6 boxes of 2018 Topps Heritage High Number. It's a half case break. It is break number 3. It's going to be the start of a new case. And that means we'll take all 12 boxes out, number them on the end, and use random.org to determine which 6 we open tonight versus which 6 we'll open in the next break. And of course, you see several teams in here didn't sell. Those are noted as no bids buyback. Doesn't happen often in baseball, but usually if it does, it's in Heritage High Number. So we do have some teams in here that are orphan teams. They didn't get a forever home. So whatever comes out for those teams will stay here and join its brothers on Card Mountain. The rest of them are going to go out the door to you. And this is probably going to jar the camera when I set this big heavy case on the table, so just FYI. And then I'm going to take all the boxes out. So you're going to see all 12 of them coming out onto the table. And they will, of course, we'll number them, and random will tell us which 6 it would like us to open tonight. Meanwhile, I just bit the bullet and ripped off the rest of my thumbnail because it's going to be stuck on stuff all night long. Didn't hurt as bad as I thought it would. How about that? I ripped it at a weird angle so I could keep a little extra, not get down into the part that hurts as much. I'm trying to get the boxes out. You've got to bear with me. They don't leave any extra room in these cases, which is good. We don't want them to, because then our cards could move around and get beat up, so we don't want that. But it does sometimes make it challenging to get them out of the case. All right, I'm going to get them numbered here. And then we'll use random and figure out which lucky boxes are going to get busted tonight and which lucky boxes are going to have to wait. They'll have to settle in behind some Bowman Chrome because, yeah, we got to get into some Bowman Chrome. as soon as it comes out, because, yeah, we've been waiting. I feel like I've been waiting on Bowman Chrome for 100 years. Well, partially because they moved the release date originally. So this is going to be an easy one. I'm just going to simply type in 1 through 12, hit randomize once. After the randomization is done, first 6 numbers will open those corresponding boxes. All right, there's our 1 through 12. I started to say good luck. I don't guess the boxes need good luck, do they? 4, 5, 11, 12, 1, 3. 1, 3, 4, 5, 11, 12. All right, 1, 3. That's easy. 4, 5. Come over here. That whole section slides out, and so does number 10. And there are our 6 boxes. Give me a second to get the other 6 put back in its case, and I will be right back with you. Okay, now we're down to the business of Heritage High Number for the evening. Greg is saying he wants to buy some of the Brooks Robinson hits out of the last break. So if you had the R's in the Leaf History of Baseball and you're interested in selling it, sounds like Greg's in the market to buy it. Gina's here. Hey, Gina. Gina says, yeah, I bought into a baseball break. Just go ahead and send me my consolation card now. Well, the good news about this, Gina, is every team pulls cards in Heritage High Number. There's a zillion cards in this break. So you'll get actual cards for your team. You don't have to worry about consolation cards in here. How about that? Did you ever decide if you had interest in Opulence? I'm still working on getting that filled. We obviously didn't break it today because it's not filled up yet. I'm still looking to move some spots on that. I know you were thinking about it, but I don't know where you ended up with it. About deciding. So Heritage High Number, we're going to have one of 2 different box toppers. This is, of course, option A, where we have a little strip of cards, a panel of cards that comes out, and there are 3 different teams on it. If someone owns 2 of the 3 teams, they would take it outright. You have to own 51% or more to take a card outright. So we're going to set that aside. At the end of the night, we'll look those up and see if someone owns them outright. If they don't, we'll again go back to our dear friend random.org and let random make a decision for us amongst all 3 teams that are on any particular card. We'll probably find more of those. The other option for box loaders, of course, is to pull one of the original 1969 Heritage cards. And when we find those, they've updated them by putting a stamp on them, a gold stamp that, indicates that they're an anniversary card, and that's how you know they're a buyback and that sort of thing. And just expect if we do find those, they're going to be well loved, okay? They're not going to be minty mint and perfect. I've seen them come out with creases in them. They're almost always miscut because they're old, and they always used to be miscut in the old days. And they'll have, soft corners, etc. So we'll find some of those. I'm sure, or I'm pretty sure we will. Our hits in here, it can be one. It will either be an autograph card or a relic card. They come out 1 per box for the hits, as in a traditional hit. Now, there are all kinds of other things we can pull in here, including cards with black borders and some chrome variations, 100th anniversary, flip stock. I mean, there's all kinds of interesting things that we may come across. Action image variations, high number short prints, that sort of stuff. So we'll kind of try to call out those as I see them coming through. And through the first time, we'll talk about our inserts, but once we've talked about them once, we'll probably move on by them. So we'll find a bunch of these that are different types of award winners for various players. Note that Giancarlo is a Marlin on that card, so of course it will go to the Marlins. And we're going to find our hit early out of this box, aren't we? It's a Buster Posey relic. I like Buster Posey for the Giants. Better get some sleeves out on the table. Corey, you're waiting on your medication to get filled at Walmart. You bought 15 jumbo packs, 2 blaster boxes of Heritage, and you hit 3 autographs, 9 mini cards, and 1 other mini. Wow. That's unusual to hit that many autograph cards out of there, too. So you did really well, man. I mean, I know it is not fun the reason that you're at Walmart. Like, nobody wants to be there and, you know, in pain and waiting on their medication to be filled. But as far as, you know, a good way to pass your time, it was quite productive anyway. Now and then, insert, we're going to find loads and loads of those as we go along as well. There'll just be tons of them with various people and scenarios on them. There's another one of our award winner inserts. And I think I accidentally stacked an award winner. There he is. I do like to try to keep most of those inserts separate just for the purposes of, you know, sometimes people want to go back and take a look at one. It helps if I've got it separated somewhat. Rookie Performers, that one is Andahar for the Yankees. We'll find lots of different rookie performers, of course, as well. There's Mr. Acuna. I don't think, yeah, John Jay is just regular, but every time I see that John Jay card, I think it should be a short print or a parallel, and I always flip it over and look. Gina, this is not at all like Allen and Ginter. You don't have to worry. This one is just all straight up baseball cards with some of the variations that I was talking about, but straight up baseball. No, nothing else in here. Boston Bashers, we'll find they have several different cards like that. There's one one for the Angels and different teams where they have 2 different players on them and give them a little nickname. This is the chrome variation. This particular one happens to be a refractor, so it's numbered to 569. If we find chromes in here that are not refractors, those will be numbered to 999. And we could even get lucky and find a black border chrome, and it would be numbered to 69 if we're that fortunate as to find one of them. Oh, I see these coming up too. These inserts, those are not real signatures, of course. They're facsimile signatures just printed on the card at the time it was manufactured. But those nice little black and white with the scalloped edges and the faux signatures come out, I don't know, maybe a couple a box, you know, something like that. 1 or 2 a box, maybe. But you know what, Gina, aside from the fact that you don't like Allen and Ginter, we are at some point going to be opening some Upper Deck Goodwin Champions, which is kind of like Allen and Ginter in that it also has some things that are not sports related, but it's a little different in that it has all of the Upper Deck exclusive athletes in it. So, you know, like for instance, Ben Simmons and Serena Williams and LeBron James, Tiger Woods. I'm trying to think who else. Those are all Upper Deck exclusive athletes. Serena didn't used to be. She just became Upper Deck exclusive really recently. But LeBron has been for a long time. Michael Jordan is and has been forever. Ditto with Tiger and Ben Simmons. So opportunity in that to pull out some cards of folks that you can't normally hit autographs on. And they have other sports in there too. So like there's hockey and, you know, Ultimate Fighting Champions maybe in there. There's a ton of stuff. I've got to break down the checklist to figure out how to list it. make sure I don't leave anybody out. And that's why we haven't broken it yet, because that takes forever. And I get started on it, and then I never get it finished. But so that's the next thing we'll open that's kind of like Allen and Genscher, but not. And then other than that, Gina, I don't think there's anything other than those two that have a bunch of non-sports things in it. Although Upper Deck is not really so much non-sports, it's multi-sport primarily, and a little bit of non-sport stuff, but not a lot. Hammering Halos insert. In fact, I think their main insert this year is a Jungle Book thing. Reggie Jackson highlights. We'll find a bunch of these, and he's going to be in different uniforms along the way. He's in a Yankees uniform there, so he'll go to the Yankees. Of course, that set issued to commemorate the fact that he happened to have his rookie cards hit in 1969. J.D. Martinez, he is a high number short print. And we will see him in here a lot. So, like, they call it a short print, and it is a short print, relatively speaking, yet we'll see it a lot. So, Logan Morrison, that's another one. He always gets me. I look at him and think, is that action? No, it isn't. For the A's, there's Piscotty on another one of our black and white parallels. And we're moving right along. Yeah, 6-hour ambulance ride is like crazy. I don't know how you did that, Corey. Hopefully they had you drugged for it. Rookie Performers Walker Buehler insert. Oh, Gina, you like Goodwin Champions. Okay, cool. Yeah, I like it too. It's just really a kind of a little bit of a pain to break. It's not a pain to break, it's a pain to list. That has been my challenge, aside from the fact that we've had so much new stuff coming out, finding a spot to put it in, because I'm going to break it by the full case, like as in 2 8-box inners that make a 16-box master is what we're going to be opening, and it's going to take a big chunk of time, so I kind of need to do it on a weekend, I think. But aside from that, of course, is the issue of, like I said, getting all the, making sure I've gone down the checklist and done my due diligence on it all. Jose Martinez is our mini for the Cardinals. That's numbered to 100. But I'm thinking maybe we'll break it next weekend on either Saturday or Sunday. Because I do have a couple of cases of it down there, and I would like to start moving through some of it. Yu Darvish, at last, I have an actual action image short print. So there it is. Gina, you said you had to go to eBay to see what team you had. Because you don't know anybody on the Diamondbacks. Well, all right then. That's good to know. There's a Shohei Ohtani, just base rookie. The Diamondbacks, oh, Miracle Mets, that's an insert series we'll find throughout this product as well. I haven't looked at the checklist for the Diamondbacks on this, so I don't know who your signing possibilities are in here. So I'm not, but, you know, for sure, you should... You're definitely going to have cards. Now, whether or not we get you a hit, I don't know. But you'll definitely have cards coming, for sure. And at least your buy-in was low, Gina. So there's that. Where you should have been buying in, everybody, was last night in that high-tech case. Man, we hit Shohei Ohtani on the orange Magna refractor. So, like, crazy good. Diffractor. Did I say refractor? Diffractor. D-I-F-F fractor. Anyway, the orange magma, and it's like, that's a monster hit. And we pulled two Acuna redemptions out of there. One of them was on the Pyrotechnic. I mean, it was another awesome case of Bowman High Tech. Hunter Green again, so it was good. For the Mets, we have a Ken Boswell original 1969 card. And as you see, stamped with the 50th anniversary Topps and well loved, okay? This has got, it's just a mess. The corners and edges are kind of a mess, and it's, you know, it's been carried around a bit, but it is from 1969, so come on, we got to give it a little bit of a break, I guess, all things considered. But yeah, Heritage High Number, for whatever reason, Heritage High Number never, well, I do know for what reasons, because, you know, it's our later rookies and team changes and things like that that sometimes don't inspire as much enthusiasm. That's why it's one that typically doesn't have quite the same level of interest as regular Heritage that comes out early in the year. But of course, this year it's the first Juan Soto rookie cards from Topps. He's been in a couple of releases of Bowman Chrome, but hadn't been in any of the Topps stuff for 2018 until this. I can never figure out yeah, that way, sort of, except that still wasn't quite right. But I'm getting better. With the quick way to open the pack, I never seem to grab the wrapper in the right place, but anyway. That's because, you know, Topps projected, and so did everybody else, that Robles would be the first one called up, and he would have been, except he was hurt when somebody else got hurt, and they had to call somebody up, so it was Juan Soto, and he wasn't about to go back down after they got him up there. So, yeah, Topps had to get him worked into the lineup. Meanwhile, we won't see Victor until next year, but we certainly have his rookie cards this year. Lots of them. How about Baker Mayfield last night? What do you guys make of it? I mean, he looked awfully good from what I saw. Charm City Sluggers insert. Now, of course, I had the break, so I only got to see live the one series that he played in the first half, right before halftime. That's the only thing I got to see live and in person, but of course I watched the highlights after the break, and man, kid looked good. You know he's not going to give up that starting job after looking that good. Josh Donaldson for the Blue Jays with a little relic clubhouse collection. But I did think it was funny that their coach said, oh yeah, I'll have to watch the film and then make a decision. It's like, will you really? Because I don't really think you will. I think you cannot watch the film and make a decision, because we all know where that's going. That's going to Tyrod on the bench and Baker lighting it up. But I told you guys, I mean, I thought the Browns were going to be pretty good this year, and I think they are going to be pretty good this year. Because even before you had Baker, they were still competitive because they have a really nice young core of defensive players who are making some big plays for them and making them competitive just with that alone. Now you're going to factor in Baker on top of that, and I think you got a whole other ball game at that point, because I'm checking one of these because I thought I saw a high number short print. I was looking back through there, and I did. That was it. Had to look at the code on the back to see which one it was. You know, and the offense, let's also take this into consideration. When Tyrod was in the game, the offense just didn't look good. And it wasn't just Tyrod. It was just nobody. They weren't running routes well. They just, you know, they were sloppy. They didn't seem like they cared. It was just not good. And the minute Baker gets in there, it seems like he's playing with a whole different group of guys, doesn't it? So some of that, I think, is his abilities elevate their abilities to a certain extent. But then just beyond that, I think the guys wanted to be playing for Baker. And when he got in there, I think the team responded to that. I think they like Tyrod and they respect him, but I think those guys wanted to play for Baker. But man, I don't know. It looked legit from what we saw last night. Well, when we see him play next, we'll find out if that continues to be the case. Small sample size, but it looks like they might be having some fun in Cleveland this year. Finally, right? They got their Bud Light refrigerators opened, so their victory fridges all came open, so they were all happy about that. And if you looked, man, I mean, they were celebrating it like out in the street and in the bars and everything, like they had just won a World Series. I mean, they were getting after it from a fan perspective. But I guess if I hadn't won since sometime back in 2016, I probably would have been celebrating like it was a World Series too. Well, I mean, look at my Kentucky Wildcats, right? I mean, we hadn't beaten Florida in 31 years until we beat them this year. And yeah, I think we celebrated like we had, won a playoff game in the college bowl game. That is high number short print, Neil Walker. So, yeah, it happens that way sometimes. Yeah, Corey, those Bud Light refrigerators, they had a few of them in the stadium, I believe, and then they had another, like 8 or 9 of them strategically placed in bars nearby the stadium. I believe, if I remember correctly, each one held 200 Bud Lights in it. And they had a lock on them that was could be opened by Wi-Fi. So once the victory became official, the Wi-Fi signal was sent or whatever, and the things opened up and people got their free beer. The cops in Cleveland were funny last night. They sent out a tweet that said, something like congratulating the Browns for the wins, and then they said, "Oh wait, the beer thing," or like, "Oh no, what was it? Oh wait, oh no, oh God, oh something," and then ... the beer thing, and then it's like, "Stay safe, Cleveland," whatever. But it was from the police department. It was really pretty funny. Eric, the short prints, to a certain extent, if you look at them enough, you just kind of pick them out as they go along. Like most of them, I can just look at it and say, that doesn't look like a card I see that much, so I'll flip it over. But the code on the back, it's not for this purpose, but it will help you. See that, how that ends in 85 on the back? Anything that is a high number short print like this will end in 85. Now the other short prints will have different codes on the back, but they will also, most of them, tell you what they are. What did I do with our action image? So action image variations, the code ends in 99, but you also see it says action right there underneath the number. So there's couple of different ways to tell on those, but mostly for me, it's just the more I look at them, the more likely I am to pick them out as I go along. So I've done a couple of breaks of this now, and the majority of them I'll probably catch. Like he's a high number short print. Anthony Banda is for the Rays. I don't even have to flip it over. I know that it is. But usually they just look slightly different. And so like this one, that's almost certainly going to be one. An action image, and it is. Action image variation for the Blue Jays. So a lot of it is just by feel. Otherwise, you can look at those codes on the back. 75 is the code for the standard cards. Then, of course, all the inserts have their own code. The chromes have their own code, and so on and so forth. So this is a black border high number, short print, J.D. Martinez. Here's what you need to know about this. The black borders are not numbered, but Topps did release the print run on those, and it is a print run of 50 for the paper. Chrome black borders, totally different. But the paper black border is an announced print run of only 50. If we find one stamped with the 100th anniversary logo, it will be, again, it won't have a number on it, but it's an announced print run of 25. If we should be so lucky as to find a flip stock, it would be limited to only 5 copies. So some of that stuff they don't number on the cards. You have to, wait for Topps to announce the print run, and then that's how you know what you've got. Gina says, shouldn't find Heritage High Number to be very exciting. Well, that's what I'm saying, Gina. Like, Heritage High Number is not as interesting as early round Heritage, because it is later call-ups that are later in the year, and it is players who have been traded or changed teams or whatever the case may be, as free agents or whatever. So in other words, the early part of the year, they might have been in a different uniform. This will be the series where you'll find them in their new threads, and where you find rookies like Juan Soto, who got into the action later after the fact. So like Juan Soto, of course, he's a big deal in here, because again, that's his first Topps rookie card for 2018 that we're going to have a chance to find. Well, that's a terribly, terribly miscut, well-loved, very much handled. I mean, you can see that. The surface of that's all, like, scratched up and messed up and crazy. But that's what it is. It was our box loader. It is a 1969 original card for the Indians, updated with the 50th anniversary stamp, and that was our box loader here. Corey, they never number those. That is, in Heritage, they just don't. They always give an announced print run after the fact, but they never number those. So you just kind of have to wait and see what they announce and go from there. But I don't mind that they're not numbered, frankly. It doesn't bother me that they're not. I think pretty much anybody who's buying a lot of cards, especially somebody who's shopping particularly for a Heritage card, they're going to know that to look up the announced print runs, and or they would probably know the scarcity of things anyway. Ah, your Juan Soto black border is going to arrive soon. That's good, Corey. You said somebody had made you an offer for that already, right? So did you decide if you're going to sell it or keep it? What'd you decide? You know what I think. I told you what I would do with it the other night, but that's because, I don't collect the Nationals either, so that probably makes a little bit of a difference. There's a little Shohei Ohtani insert, black and white. We're getting him we'll go ahead and put him in a sleeve now. Most of those inserts, of course, I will be putting in a sleeve along the way, but I'm just not going to do it during the break because it slows us down a lot, because there's quite a few inserts. That's, again, same thing with our high number short print. So yeah, most of our inserts I do after the break. Every once in a while I'll do one while we're going through it, but mostly I save them up, and it's my work after the camera's off. You saw on eBay that a black border Juan Soto sold for $300, you said? Well, that's not too shabby. That's, because, I mean, that's not an autograph card. That's just a regular, I don't know why that looked like it might be a variation, but it wasn't. I mean, it's not regular. We know it's a low print run of 50, but still, $300 for that, I think is good. So to each his own. Some people might hang on to it and think it'll be worth more later, but I tend to say sell while everybody is looking for it if you're of a mind to sell it. Well, Gina, you say you get Jack in baseball. It depends on what you're buying into. See, this is the thing. And it also depends on what your goal is, Gina. So I could help you hit some good stuff in baseball. That is Blake Snell Ray's Clubhouse Collection. But I have to know kind of what is your goal. So are you buying to resell? Or are you buying just to get hits that you want to keep yourself? Or like what is the buy-in motivation? And that helps kind of frame the discussion about what you would want to buy into. Because if you're buying to resell, your best place to buy in low and then later resell high is in a Bowman break, generally. Because do you know a lot about baseball cards and how it works, i.e. that Bowman is usually prospects, and it'll have some of the hot rookies mixed in, but it is a product primarily of prospects, right? So there's two different schools of thought about that. There are some people who will say that the first Bowman they will consider to be the player's rookie card, no matter that it doesn't say rookie card on it because it doesn't meet the MLB guidelines for that, but it does say first Bowman on it. And those will have a really high resale value, but some people that's the only kind they want. Then there are other people who like, I don't think Bowman is really the true rookie card, and I only want the one that says rookie card, and etc. So if you were buying for that purpose, I would say anything Bowman. But you're saying that your goal, you don't sell a lot, you just like to hit cool stuff. Then you would want to be not in stuff like this. You would want to be in things that have a lot more hits and things that are probably more high end, like triple threads and 5-star luminaries, that sort of thing. Of course, we've already done diamond icons. That's a big one. Jacoby Jones, and that is an action image variation for the Tigers. There's certainly money to be made in this stuff too. I mean, believe it or not, you can sometimes make as much on a short print of one card as you can on another card that's autographed by somebody else. Like anything, depends on the player. But top short prints can often be quite valuable depending on the player. But if you're just looking for cool stuff for yourself, yeah, these are like these lower end breaks are not probably going to get you what you want to get. Or if you wait for Leaf Trinity in particular, Leaf Trinity Baseball has some amazing relics in it. And that's another one that would have probably a reasonable buy-in, but you would have the potential to hit some what you're calling really cool stuff. I think you would like out of Leaf Trinity. Well, yeah, National Treasures. Okay, there's another example for you. You're talking about Flawless. And Flawless, we were supposed to have Flawless Collegiate Football was due out Wednesday this upcoming, but they moved the date. They just announced it this morning. They moved that date to October the 3rd. But we are still going to have National Treasures Baseball that comes out on Wednesday. So that's one you might like. I mean, I'm sure you're familiar with the National Treasures brand from having bought into it with football and maybe even with basketball. But National Treasures Baseball should be good. And, of course, Immaculate Baseball we've already opened for sure. Immaculate Football and Basketball haven't come out yet, or football hasn't. Has basketball? No, I don't think it has. Immaculate and Impeccable both. We're still due in both football and basketball. Which I've got orders in for it, but that does not mean that I can tell you what date it comes out because I don't remember. and because they moved them a lot. So both things at work there. But you might want to try National Treasures Baseball and see if you like it, because that would be a good one. I think you would really like, I'm sure you know Triple Threads, right? From when Topps used to have a football license and they did Triple Threads football. It's the same concept except baseball. So Triple Threads Baseball is another one that would probably net you some quote-unquote cool cards that's, I think, coming out in the next week or two. They've moved the date on it a time or two as well, but I don't think we're far off from it. Yeah, I like the older stuff too. I've got a case of 2015 black gold football that I'm thinking about breaking maybe as a full case. If I break it as a full case, we'd probably do it as a direct break. If I break it by the half case instead, we'd probably list it on eBay. But I've got that. I've got some more cases of 2011 Crown Royal. I've got a case of 2015 Lux hanging around here. I think I have got some more 2013 stuff. I mean, it's a decent amount of older stuff that I've still got hanging around. Mets, Giants, and the D-backs on this one. So same as before. I'm going to set it aside. You've got to own 2 of the 3 teams to hit the 51% or more mark. And that would be to take it outright. Otherwise, it'll go to random if nobody takes it outright. Well, see, now it's interesting. You say baseball has too many players for you, but there's technically less baseball players to keep up with than football players, really. I mean, because football is, what, a 53-man roster, and you have 32 teams. Baseball, you've only got 30 teams, and I don't remember how many on the roster, but it's not 53, not on the active anyway. But now, if you start talking about prospects and that sort of thing, yeah, there's definitely more to keep up with. But active players, no, not really. Yeah, I'm definitely going to do something soon with that 2015 black gold. I've just got to figure out if I'm going to break it by the half or the whole. I think I still have more 2011 prime signatures. I don't know. I've got quite a bit of older stuff. I just have to organize it. I've got more chrome. We'll probably do some more chrome mixers from like 13, 14, 15, that sort of thing. But this is a hard time of year to work it in, because from here on through the end of the year, both Topps and Panini start releasing stuff at like an incredible rate. And we get like 3-4 products every week. And it gets really, the closer we get to the holiday, the crazier it gets. And it just starts coming out at such a pace that it's nearly impossible to break it all and keep up with it before the next thing comes out. So I don't break as much of the older stuff this time of year, although I do need to try to work some in. Zach Davies, Milwaukee Brewers Clubhouse Collection. So far we are 4 for 4 on relics, so our signatures have not made an appearance yet. High number short print, but they should. You know, there's usually a couple of signatures per case. Sometimes a little more than. I don't know why I thought that looked different, but it isn't. But it kind of caught my eye for a second. So I thought I would check it out, but you know what? It was the same. The same as all the rest. Oh, Gina, Greatest Hits was fun the other day. I do have another case of Greatest Hits basketball, too. Corey, did you watch that break yet? I don't want to spoil it for you if you haven't, because I know you had not the other night. Have you watched it now? Because before I say anything else about it, I don't want to spoil your fun if you haven't seen it. But I do have another case of Greatest Hits basketball. No more Greatest Hits football. or baseball right now. Although baseball will probably be coming up again December-ish. And Leaf Best of Baseball will be coming up in December. Or maybe sooner. High number short print. And the Best of is different than Greatest Hits, but it's similar. Similar in the fact that it is also buyback cards, and some of them can be worth a lot of money. But different in the fact that it's not all, you know, whatever we have in there, 4 buyback cards. I think they changed the format to where it's a 10-box case now. We'll have to see how it comes out. But I think it's a 10-box case now for Best of. And those are a lot less expensive than the Greatest. In other words, you get more cards for the same amount or less amount of money out of Best of than of Greatest. You have watched it. Okay. So yeah, Gina, out of this Leaf Greatest Hits basketball case that we opened the other day, we had a Kobe Bryant on-card auto. I think it was numbered to 49, came out of there. There was a Shaquille O'Neal graded rookie, a Kevin Garnett graded rookie, a Jason Tatum hard-signed on-card rookie auto, a Donovan Mitchell rookie auto. That one was a sticker. What else? There was something else in there I want to say that I really liked, but I can't think what it was. Anyway, it was a nice case. A lot of good stuff came out of it. Yeah, I don't know why they had the LeVar in there. I mean, oh, Dr. J. Yeah. That's it, Greg. Thank you. Yeah. Dr. J was our other good autograph card in there. Yeah, Corey, I don't know why they put LeVar Ball in there. That's kind of dumb, but I also will reiterate that there are people that pay for those. So if you don't want it yourself, which I'm gathering you don't, and I wouldn't either, sell it. Somebody will buy it. Now, the Ball brothers, the boys, LaMelo and LiAngelo, those were just extras. Those are bonuses. In Greatest Hits, there's always a Leaf original card included, because I think you have to have one in a buyback product to be able to call it a new product. I think technically by law they have to have at least one Leaf original card. So that's why they put those in there. But, you know, in the other sports, they're not signed. But for whatever reason, this year in the Greatest Hits basketball, they did decide to have them signed. So the Ball boys were just bonuses. But, of course, the LeVar Ball itself did take up a spot in one of those boxes. So, yeah, that was kind of weird. Shaq rookie. Yeah, did I not say Shaq rookie? Who did I say a while ago? I thought I said Shaq, but I might have said somebody else. But it was Garnett and Shaq that were graded rookies. Another Ohtani black and white parallel. But as a whole, I was really pleased with what came out of Greatest Hits basketball. Now, I know Greg wasn't as much. Greg didn't like that there were the rookies in there. He thought it should have been more in the line of the Kobe Bryant type stuff. But, of course, you know me. I'm going to disagree with that because that Donovan Mitchell and the Jason Tatum both were, you know, big money hits. Curtis Granderson black border for the Blue Jays. That, of course, again, a print run of 50, despite the fact that it is not on card numbered. Now and then, Shohei Ohtani insert. So, yeah, do have one more case of Greatest Hits basketball. Somewhere along the way, we'll break it. But we've got to get through Opulence first. I'm going to go back and look at this Cahill. I don't know why some of these tonight are catching my eye that normally don't. Because they turn out to be nothing. But for some reason, they're catching my eye and then they turn out to be nothing. Buckeye for Fun, you said, oh, your video is jumping around. Well, that's not good. Are you having buffering and stuff, you mean? Are you on a mobile or on like a desktop? Is anybody else having problems with buffering? That was a Rookie Performers Rhys Hoskins insert that went by. Yeah, we won't, beyond the one, there's a Heritage, or a high number short print again. Beyond that last case of Greatest Hits basketball, we won't have Greatest Hits again until 2018 baseball comes out, which typically we could expect to find it probably somewhere in December-ish. I mean, you never know with Leaf. It could hit in January, it could hit in November, but typically I would think we would find it somewhere in December. But we will have Leaf Best Of that'll come out in between, which is, again, a very similar product with buybacks. To $9.99, I put it in upside down. It is a Logan Morrison Chrome for the Twins with, what is that? What is that? That's something. Oh, just a, I guess a little piece of the edge of the card. That Reggie Jackson's going to the Angels. So you find those Reggie Jackson highlights in here for the Angels, the Yankees, and the A's. And of course, it will always go to the team that you see there on the card in the case of the Reggie Jacksons. This, there's a little money, because that is an action image variation for the Braves of Mr. Ronald Acuna. So someone going to make a little money on that tonight. Maybe we can find you an autograph or something to go along with. So far, we're 4 boxes and 4 relics. I would like to find an autograph out of one of these boxes, maybe. Oh, Buckeye for fun. Your laptop is old and tired. That's how I feel some days. I also feel like I need to be replaced some days. I think, yeah, Greg's idea there, try to refresh the page, the actual YouTube page. Sometimes YouTube will just act stupid. And it does it on, it doesn't do it on my laptop and it doesn't do it on my desktop, but on my iPad, which is also an older model, and frankly, I probably need to get a new one. It will sometimes do what you're talking about on my iPad. It'll just kind of get stuck or buffer, jump around or whatever when it doesn't do it on any of my other devices. And refreshing it, as Greg said, will sometimes help that. Twins, Orioles, and the White Sox coming out on this one. So we got another one to go over here in our little housekeeping pile. Oh, Corey, you've got good Wi-Fi because you're in the hotel, huh? I know you said at home sometimes you have a challenge with your Wi-Fi, so the hotel has got you hooked up, huh? Gina, you're looking for a Jason Tatum from downtown that was in, why am I going blank on the card series that was in? They changed it from what it was in last year. It was in Cornerstones this year, right? I think that's where they put it. Because last year, From Downtown was in Studio, I believe, which they didn't produce for this year. But of course, those From Downtowns are case hits, you know. It's only one per case. It makes it a little more difficult to come up with. Gina, you're asking, is this a set builder set, Heritage high number? I mean, yes and no. Again, the things that you're looking for out of here, more so than the relics. Of course, the autographs, when you hit them, are good in here. And I've pulled Mike Trout red inks out of here worth several $100s. Not this year, but last year we did at a high number. So some of the autographs can be worth good money in here, but again, some of the short prints and black borders and things like that can be worth some money. I mean, but if you're not buying to resell it, then that probably doesn't catch your attention that much for this kind of a product. Because that's the short prints, that Ronald Acuna short print action image will be worth more than any of the relics that we've pulled out of here up to this point. So if you have an opportunity, Gina, you might take a look online at some of the Beckett pricing for stuff like this, like Heritage and Heritage High Number, and you'll get a feel for the short prints and things and kind of where some of the value is outside of maybe just the hits when you get into a set like this that's heavy on base cards and things. This is a J.D. Martinez Chrome. And that is that purple? Does that look purple? That is purple. So then we're going to be in our hot box, right? Yeah. If that is purple, which I think it was, and then the light hit it weird and I thought it wasn't, and now apparently I'm just colorblind. It was purple. So we're in our hot box. Here's what that means to you. It means that we are going to find one in every single pack of these little fellows right here. I'll put them in sleeves later. They are not numbered, but purple, chrome, purple border, chrome variations only come in the hot box. The hot box is one per case generally, and then there is one purple per pack. So that's the interesting part of that. Rookie performers, Shohei Ohtani. Oh man, you tried to refresh and you had to reboot the whole computer? Oh man, because it locked up. We gave you bad advice, didn't we, Buckeye, for fun? Uh-oh, sorry about that. That's my fault. Corey, you saw some Best of Basketball being broken. Yeah, I mean, we've definitely, I've broken Best of Basketball, Best of Football, all that sort of stuff as it comes out. They have reconfigured it. It is, I think, now a 10-box case. It used to be, I think, a 2 or 3 box case, and you would get 2 cards per box, and every once in a while they'd put a 3rd card in there. But they have changed it, and now I'm pretty sure it's going to be a 10-box case this year going forward. But all those are always lots of fun. Best of Baseball, Best of Basketball, Best of Football. They were a little harder to sell when they were 2 and 3 box cases because the price was pretty high and there were only a couple of cards per box. Now that they've reconfigured it, I think it'll be a little easier to work with. So I'll probably open more of it maybe than we have in the past. We'll get a few more cases of it than that. And there's Andrew McCutchen for the Giants. And of course, that's the other thing, Gina, about these is that, of course, you're seeing some players like Andrew McCutchen who would have still been shown for his former team, the Pirates, throughout most of the Topps trading card year. And this would be, you know, one of the times you'd see him as a Giant. Of course, he's been traded again since then. But that was a chrome refractor for the Mets to 569. But that's the other part of the appeal. And the thing I personally like about Heritage is that these look and feel like, I always call them real baseball cards. Of course, they're all real cards, but I'm saying like the kind that I had when I was a kid, the kind when they used to put bubble gum in the packs with the cards, you know, and they had a very certain look and feel to them, not all fancy like they are now. And that is these cards, you know, that's part of the deal. They have the throwback look and card stock, and they feel like the old cards. And of course, they honor a different year with each set. So this last year was 1968. This is 1969. Next year, we'll see the 1970 set will be Heritage and Heritage High Number. So that's the other thing about it that depends on, again, what you like and that sort of thing. But that's something I personally like a lot about Heritage and Heritage High Number. And the same thing with Archives. Archives will be another one that has a lot of the old school kind of feel to it. Corey said you had that feeling that the hot box was going to be tonight. Well, you know, sometimes those feelings, you got to go with them when you get them. I get those sometimes too. And sometimes I'm right, but sometimes I'm not. Sometimes I'm way wrong. Buckeye for fun, you said Illinois is 24, and is that Penn State is 21? What in the world? What's Illinois doing winning that game? And why, by the way, is every football game that I seem to watch, whether it is college or otherwise, why is everybody putting up like 500,000 points every time you turn around? I mean, that game with the Steelers last week, that was absurd. On both sides of the ball. We gave up 42 points, and Kansas City gave up, what, 37 or something. Like, it's football, man. I don't want to see scores in the 30s and 40s. That means somebody is not playing any defense. That just bugs me. I don't want to see football games with those high-scoring games. Oh, but did you see the guy? I can't remember if he was like from a Division II school or what school he was with. But the coach had let his team run up the score 96-7. 96. Like, at what point don't you tell your team, like, maybe we need to run the ball or something other than continuing to score touchdowns on their clearly overmatched opponent? 96 points. I mean, that's just, he should have been flagged for unsportsmanlike conduct. I mean, he came out and apologized, a couple days later and said, oh, yeah, I should have, slowed the game down or whatever. It's like, you think? Maybe when you got up in the 70s or the 80s, you think maybe you should have slowed the game down there, Mr. Coach. I mean, who does that sort of thing? That's just insanity. Corey, you hit the Shohei purple in the last hot box. Oh yeah, that's right. That's right. I forgot about that. I don't know. I've shipped you a bunch of stuff recently. I have no idea what all is there and what all is still here, but I do know I've shipped you a bunch of stuff lately. Nice Juan Soto purple border for the Nats. Of course, Juan Soto, the man of the hour in this set. Other than Shohei, the one we would really like to hit would be Juan Soto, along with, of course, Mr. Ohtani here. Missouri versus Georgia tomorrow is what you want to watch, huh? Well, I've got, of course, Kentucky, Mississippi State, but it's in the evening, and it doesn't start until 7, so I probably won't be able to watch the whole thing. Depends on how quickly they play, but I'll get to watch a good amount of it, I would think. Of course, I don't know what's going to happen there. We may get absolutely destroyed. Probably will. That is Matt Kemp action image variation for the Dodgers. Speaking of the Dodgers, did you guys see that Puig's house got robbed again? I mean, I think it's the 4th time his house has been robbed recently, like within a short time frame, and the 2nd time within a really short time frame. Like, why didn't dude get an alarm system? Right? Somebody obviously knows where he lives, and they just keep breaking in. And apparently the police know it's 3 guys or something, and they were trying to steal a safe. And clearly not hard to know when Mr. Puig will not be home, since he plays for the Dodgers. You just kind of look at their schedule and say, hey, here's a good time to go break into his house. But that's just crazy. I couldn't even imagine. Like, get an alarm system, guy. Paul Goldschmidt, D-backs. Hey, you got a relic. Gina, I just realized you've got the Diamondbacks. And as far as Diamondbacks go, Paul Goldschmidt is an all-star first baseman. So as far as Diamondbacks go, that's a good one to have. Buckeye for fun. You said you used to referee high school and small college baseball. I'm assuming that's baseball. It could be basketball, but I think you mean baseball. And when you had a game like that where they just blow out the other team, you'd never give that team a call. Well, no doubt. I mean, frankly, that coach should be embarrassed to run that score up like that on the other team. I think that's terrible. And I was really disappointed last night in Isaiah Crowell as well, who, of course, used to play for Cleveland, left in free agency and went to the Jets. And the first half of the game, of course, the Jets played well. They didn't play well the second half, apparently. But the first half, they did. And Crowell was having a pretty good game. And he got that touchdown and decided as his touchdown celebration, you know, to rub the ball on his butt and then throw it up into the crowd. Like, I guess, he says not as a gesture towards the fans or the team. But, I mean, obviously it was. Come on, man. You're wiping the ball on your butt and throwing it into the crowd. And I thought, man, why do you have to do that? At that point, they were winning. The Browns had nothing happening for them. That's his former team. Like, you know, show some class. This is the Pilots. Ooh, there's a throwback for Seattle. That is the 50th anniversary. Stamped on it, of course, another buyback. And again, miscut, well-loved, etc. But nonetheless, the Pilots, a defunct franchise, will go, of course, to the current name and location of that defunct franchise. Oh my gosh, I did not hear about that, Gina. The Colorado mascot shot himself in the crotch with the t-shirt cannon. Oh my gosh. Obviously I would hope by accident, or was the guy like trying to do it to be funny and then didn't think it was going to hurt, or like what happened there? One would hope it was by accident. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that. I know I definitely missed that. Good grief. Now, I didn't watch any television today. I was super busy. I haven't had it on all day. I guess since I watched that little bit of the Browns last night and then did the break, I don't think I've had it back on since then. I did go watch the highlights last night after the break. So I guess I did have it on since then because I did watch the highlights on one of those shows. J.D. Martinez, high number short print. And another high number short print, Ichiro Mariners. A black border for the Tigers. That is Mike Gerber. And print run of 50, but unnumbered on the card itself. He held it backwards. Oh my gosh. Can you imagine being that guy? Oh my goodness. I mean, clearly, I would have no idea how much that actually hurts being a female, but from all the times you ever see anything like that happen, and the guys like drop to the ground instantly, and from everything I've ever been told, it's exceedingly painful. I don't, yeah, whew, not fun for that guy, I'm sure. But I don't think, no matter how many times you see it, no matter how many times somebody tells you how much it hurts, I don't think there's any way you can know unless you've gone through it. Of course, then again, they don't know how much it hurts to have a baby either now, do they? So, yeah, trade-offs for everything, right? Trade-offs for it all. But I feel bad. I do not think that mascot guy is going to be walking straight up for a while, sounds like. Needless to say, I guess they didn't get t-shirts in the crowd, huh? Like, after that little adventure, I'd say T-shirt gun was retired for the evening. Gosh, and you know it'll just be all over Sports Center and stuff. It just makes it even worse. Oh, man, oh man. Amazing Astros insert. Another Now and Then. High number short print Banda again for the Tampa Bay Rays. Oh, this is nice too. Action image variation of Torres for the Yankees. So we already had the nice Acuna action image short, and now we're going to have a Gleyber Torres to go with it. So that's a couple of nice SPs coming out of this half of the case. Whoops, that's an insert. Now and Then for, who is that? Manny Machado. I'm like, wait a minute, who's that again? Manny Machado. Rookie performer Joey Lucchesi. Oh, it's on YouTube? Okay, so not on Sports Center. Big Blue breaks. You must have the Yankees tonight. You know, it's funny. I started to use something like, well, I don't know why you have Big Blue. I have Big Blue because I'm a UK fan, right? I mean, I graduated from University of Kentucky, and I'm a huge Kentucky Wildcats fan. And I thought about going with Big Blue breaks or Wildcat breaks or something like that before I ultimately went with Leader of the Pack breaks. I still don't know why I went with Leader of the Pack breaks, except I think some of my silly family members told me they liked it best. But I kind of envy that it's that it is Big Blue breaks, because I was actually leaning towards Wildcat breaks originally. But anyway, that's not what I went with, so there you go. Oh, you're near Fayette Mall. Okay, cool. Cool. Hey, are you the other guy that goes into Larry's place and you pick up like your supplies and stuff there from Southern? The truck comes there and all that. Is that you? I don't know if it is, but I think it might be, because Larry has told me, there's somebody that started coming in a lot in the last few months, picking up their supplies and stuff from Southern. So since you're near the mall, I'm thinking it might be you hanging out at Larry's. Yeah, it is you. Okay, cool. Excellent. Yeah, I love Larry. What I told him was, because, he's been trying to get me to buy that store for like over a year. Now I know he's trying to get you to buy it too, because he told me he was. I said, hey, maybe, I didn't know your name at that point. I said, hey, maybe he and I need to join forces and buy your store. He's like, yeah, that's the way to go. I actually thought that you were picking up, last time I picked up, which was like, I don't know, a month ago or so. I think he was expecting you, but you really didn't have something, I guess, or whatever. So I missed you that day. Jacob deGrom and the Mets Clubhouse Collection relic with a pinstripe. Yay. But I am going to be there this upcoming week. I am picking up from Southern that day at Larry's on Thursday. Well, I am if I get off my rear end and get my supply order in, which I need to do. I need to inventory my supplies this weekend and get those on the truck and save that freight, man. So yeah, so if you're there next week, maybe I'll see you there. I know, that's what I said too, Big Blue Breaks, is that I don't have time to run the store. Like, I would love to have the store. I think there's a lot of potential there, especially if it was like a website built out for it and some things like that. I mean, I see so many things that I like and that I would like to do, but like you, I'm just thinking, and that is literally what I said to him when I was in there a week or two ago. I'm like, I just don't think that I have enough time to do it. Like, I don't have enough hours in the day to run that store. Even if I cut back and kept it open fewer days per week, I still don't think I could get it done, but I don't know. Oh, Gina, you also break with Big Blue Brakes? Well, that's cool. Excellent. All right, so we are Tigers, Pirates, and Red Sox, Mets, Giants, and Diamondbacks, Twins, Orioles, and White Sox. Here's the 411, kids. You have to own 51% or more to take it outright, which means 2 of the 3 teams. So what we will do is go to the spreadsheet, and we're going to check each one of these to see if anyone takes it outright. If nobody takes it outright, then what happens next is I will go to random, and I'll put in, it's very simple. We're just going to do left, middle, and right. And same thing, we're going to hit random 3 different times, and then of course after the 3rd random we'll know where it goes. But the deal is it will cover all of these. So if all 3 of these go to random, we're going to do random the 1 time. If it came up to middle, it would go to the middle on each card, so on and so forth. So hopefully that made sense. Okay, I would like to think that made sense, but you know, you never know with me, especially late at night. Okay, so did I bring you with me? Yes, I did. Good. All right, so we are first looking at the Detroit Tigers, which is a crazy owl, is what I'm going to go with. Our Pirates, where are you, Pirates? That is Camp B, and then the Red Sox is G. Giska, so all 3 of those different. Then we're looking at the Mets, 1969 Gab Mets. Our Giants, Groovy Y. And our D-backs, well, we know who that is. That's Gina. Next up, we have the Minnesota Twins. That's Greg. The Orioles. Hey, that's Greg. Greg gets that one outright. And then the White Sox. Well, the White Sox were no bids anyway, so I would have given it to you regardless, Greg. Well, I couldn't have if there were 2 people. I guess I shouldn't say that. But that would be wrong. But I'm saying if, well, I don't know what I'm saying. Anyway, you take it outright, so it doesn't matter. It's all good. That one belongs to you. Now we are going to random. Can be our friend, it can be our foe, but boy, is it ever useful in situations like breaks. All right, so here's how it's going to go. Once again, I'm going to type in left, middle, and right, and I will hit random 3 different times. The first 2 you can ignore. Whoops, if I could spell. The 3rd and final one is the only one that really counts here. It's the only one that matters. All right, so here we go. Ignore the first one. You can ignore the second one. 3rd and final on the way. There it is. 3 times date and timestamp going to the left-hand position on the card. So let's come back here. This is the one that went outright to Greg. He had 2 of the 3 bidding positions, so he's going to take it outright anyway. And yeah, so that one, we know where it goes. This, we had the left hand. Was it left hand? I've already forgotten. Daggone it. What is wrong with me tonight? Yes, left. So this one is headed to the Tigers. This one is headed to the Mets. So those are our box toppers. Now we have a little short print Gleyber Torres for the Yankees. And that is to $9.99 for the Phillies. Black border, announced print run of 50 for the Tigers. This is a buyback 1969 original card. This is Action Image Variation Dodgers. Refractor chrome numbered to 569. The Braves have an Action Image short print for Mr. Acuna. Logan Morrison and the Twins, chrome to $9.99. Curtis Granderson as a Blue Jay, still so hard to get used to. Black border, announced print run of 50. Tigers hit with Jacoby Jones, action image short print. We had an Indians box topper, 1969 original, really well loved. Like, surface is all scraped up and the corners and edges are a hot mess. I don't know, might even have a little light crease or two in it. It's that one is practically bicycle spoke used. Red Sox, J.D. Martinez, black border, high number, short print run of 50. Blue Jays with a little Lourdes Gurriel, action image, short print. Yu Darvish for the Cubs, action image, short print. An original 1969 buyback for Ken Boswell and the Mets, well loved. A mini numbered to 100, Jose Martinez for the Cardinals. And the Rangers with a chrome refractor to 569. Our relics. Because we didn't hit any signatures tonight, did we? What a drag. All right, well, we're all relics in this half. The Mets with a pinstripe, which makes it all a little bit better. That is Jacob deGrom. Paul Goldschmidt for the D-backs is heading out the door to Gina. Zach Davies and the Brewers Clubhouse Collection relic. Blake Snell and the Rays for that relic. Little Josh Donaldson for the Blue Jays. At least we got a red one. Got some color in there. And Buster Posey for San Fran. And I believe that actually wraps us up for tonight. I am going to put up the spreadsheet information one final time in case anybody missed it, or you want to see it again, or you want to know about the opulence break, any or all of the above. We're going to do a quick little pass through it for anybody who is interested. Let's see if I can remember to change the view tonight. Yeah, good for me. I actually did. Like probably out of the last 5 nights, at least 2 of them, I forgot to change y'all's view when I did it. So that was super helpful at that point, wasn't it? So once again, our paid shipping breaks tonight were Leaf History of Baseball Heritage High Number. No free shipping breaks this evening. Projecting a shipping date of Wednesday. Really hopeful, guys, that I can get it out to you sooner than that. I know that is slower than I would normally get it out, okay? I do know that. But I try to be realistic in the projections so I don't disappoint you. And I think Wednesday is the realistic projection, and I'm just going to try very hard to get it out faster than that. If you got skunked in Leaf History of Baseball, your consolation card will be sent out with the rest of the break since it's paid shipping break. So we don't have any that we have to worry about the holding for the next package tonight because there were no free shipping breaks. Coming up on eBay tomorrow night, Clearly Authentic and XR Football, both full case breaks. Sunday night, we're going to do a half case of Leaf Autograph mini helmets and a half case of Leaf Autograph football jerseys, along with another full case of Bowman High Tech, which has been smoking hot. We have pulled awesome stuff out of pretty much every case of High Tech we've opened. Monday night, I'm going to take off because I want to watch Monday Night Football. Woohoo! I'll probably actually realistically do sorting and shipping and listing, but I'm just not going to break so I can sort of watch the game. Tuesday night, we'll do a multi-sport autograph ticket. That, again, will be spot sold by first letter of last name. We will do a half case of Gold Rush Series 2 autograph baseball jerseys, another half case of Leaf Autograph mini helmets, and another case of XR Football. Wednesday is new release day. We'll open a 5-box case of TriStar Game Day Greats autograph football jerseys as a full case break. We will open, this is wrong, it is not 1 time, it is 4 times that make a case. And I think I was having, I don't know what I was having in my head there, but it is a 4-box case. It is not a 1-box case of National Treasures, but it is a full case. It comes out Wednesday. We'll break it Wednesday. We'll also open a full 12-box case of Bowman Chrome. I'm so jazzed for that. And once again, Flawless Collegiate Football was pushed back. Originally supposed to come out on Wednesday, and it has been moved to October the 3rd, so we won't be opening that until then. Big Blue Breaks, I just now saw that you typed into chat, when are we going to do the back half of this case of Heritage High Number? And that's an excellent question because I don't have it scheduled yet. But I would guess, Big Blue Breaks, we will probably do it next weekend. Just looking at what all's coming out on Wednesday, I'm thinking the back part of Heritage High Number probably ends up on either Saturday or Sunday of next weekend. And whichever day we don't do Heritage High, we will probably do the master case of Upper Deck Goodwin Champions, which is two 8-box cases. So, however you want to look at that. I usually call it 2 cases because it's 2 8-box cases, but these do happen to be in a sealed master case, so we can just call it a master case if you want. Whatever it is, it's going to be 16 boxes, however you want to slice it. So that'll probably be next weekend. Goodwin Champions one day and the back half of this Heritage High number the other, is my guess. Now, what you see on the screen at this moment is about Opulence basketball. And I should have opened this up a little sooner than I did. That's on me. I didn't open this up until night before last. I should have done it sooner, and I didn't, and sorry. But it is a hits draft that we're selling directly, not on eBay. It's for a case of 2017-18 Opulence basketball. And, of course, everybody's going to get something guaranteed in this one because it's a hits draft. The case will have 21 hits in it, autographs, relics, or some combination thereof. And then we're also going to we're going to create a hit, basically, with all of the base cards and the parallel base cards. Anything that isn't an autograph or a relic is going to go together in another group, which I believe will be 9 cards approximately. And that will be the 22nd option. So it will work like this. We will open up the case, take all of the hits out. So you're going to get to see everything that's in the case up front. Then I'll use random.org to randomize the bidders, or we may do that before we open the case. But at any rate, the bidders will be randomized, and that'll give us our draft order. From there, you just kind of pick in order, right? So you have the number 1 draft position, then you're in good shape. You're going to have your choice of anything pulled out of that case. You can choose one card and it will be yours. If you were, say, for instance, the 7th draft pick after we did randomize, then there are going to be 6 people ahead of you that will have taken 6 cards out of play, but all the remaining cards would still be in play. And it'll go that way just straight down the line. So it is the kind of break where you want to be there live. And if you're not there live, then I'm just going to kind of use my judgment to choose a hit for you, and you might not like it. I mean, I'll do my best, but it might not be what you would have chosen. So I always say on Hits Draft, you better, you really should be there live. But we're not to that point yet because we still have to finish filling it. It's $135 a spot. Each spot, of course, is going to get 1 draft position. That's all in, shipping costs included. We'll break it when we fill it. Like any break, it is a no return, no refund item. It says if you pull nothing, you'll get nothing, but that's because I have that on all of these. But everybody is going to pull something in this. I only created 22 bidding spots because there are going to be 22 hits, counting our collection of base and parallel cards. If you want in on that, please let me know. You can hit me up in chat. You can hit me up in eBay messages, whatever makes you happy. And, of course, I just invoice those by way of PayPal money requests, and that's how that rolls. And let's see, Corey, you out of here? All right. Well, hey, listen, man, recoup well and make sure that they keep you comfortable while you're in the hotel up there. Make sure they wait on you. Get room service and stuff. Kick back and relax, man. And Greg, you said Penn State is winning. It is about time. And Big Blue Break said if I want to just sell you the other 6, that would ease my workload. Hey, listen, man, I've got more cases of it. I could sell you whole cases of it. I always get a decent amount of Heritage. I actually usually get more Heritage than I do high number because Heritage proper always breaks a little better than high number. But because of the Juan Soto factor and a few other things, I ordered more high number this year than I might normally. Oh, but you had never broken Heritage before? Oh, isn't it fun to break, though? Oh, I love breaking it. Because it's the old school cards. That turns my crank, so to speak. I like having the vintage look and feel. But anyway, I guess that has us all finished up for tonight. I got to get busy getting this stuff in sleeves and top loaders and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to sign off for the evening. And one more time, thank you, everyone, for joining me tonight. I appreciate you spending part of your Friday with me. Hey, if you're not busy, come back and spend part of your Saturday night with me too. You don't have to be breaking to come and hang out. You're always welcome to hang out and chat, even if you haven't bought into the break. Always happy to have the company. And Big Blue Breaks, I'm sure I'll see you somewhere along the way at Larry's probably. And I'm finished for tonight, guys. Thank you. Take care. We'll see you soon. Bye now.